Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello everyone, I'm Kiris. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, November 26th through Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. On Sunday, November 26th, the week is starting off with the moon exalted in the sign of Taurus. Now, the moon is acquisition. It's what we really want, what we are hungry for. It's an appetite. It's a desire. The moon exalted in Taurus is the desire for everything, to have it all, to never be satisfied, never be content. It's this drive, this instinct, this feeling, because the moon isn't intellectual. It's the body, it's the emotions, it's how you're feeling. And the week is starting off with this feeling of over the top, you've got to have it all. This is the moon exalted in Taurus. Along with that, we are in what's called waxing gibbous moon phase. We are closely approaching the full moon in the sign of Gemini. So the energy, the intensity is really amped up as we approach this full moon in Gemini. Along with the moon exalted in Taurus, wanting it all, wanting everything, the cosmic lineup with the Sun, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, in signs of duality, the tension of the opposites. When we look at the mutable signs of the zodiac, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, these signs of the zodiac, which are called mutable, they correspond to wanting this, but you want that. You feel this way, but you feel another way. Everything is morphing and shifting. And this duality with the dual signs, meaning at least two of everything, is the feeling of you don't know. You haven't decided yet. You're not sure exactly what it is that you want to be fixed. You're considering many different things at the same time. These are what are called the mutable signs of the zodiac. They also correspond to the times during the year when the seasons, the conditions are shifting and changing. So the cosmic energy right now is knowing, feeling that you want something more, that you want something bigger. Moon in Taurus. Yet at the same time, it's not quite having it been decided with all of these signs in duality of what it is that you want. No, you are not going crazy. You're not losing your mind, although it can feel very overwhelming, like it's just too much mentally. How to connect and work with this energy and where your power is, because you always have the power. How to work with this energy, which is putting a highlight on what's going on, is give yourself the luxury of time. You don't have to decide right now. You can give yourself the sense of, I just want to look at all the different things. I am not going to decide right now, no matter how much someone or something in your life may be trying to push you into deciding right now. Our sense of time is get everything done as quickly as possible. Now, in astrology, we have cardinal signs, fixed signs, mutable signs. The cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, these are the signs of the zodiac, and you have this somewhere in your personal astrology chart where that wants everything decided very quickly. Yesterday, if possible, in and out fast. Come on, hurry up, let's go. Cardinal signs of the zodiac want to initiate something quickly, get it started, and then move on to the next thing. So whether you're one of those signs of the zodiac or not, you do have this somewhere in your chart. Hurry up and get it over with. Get it started. If you are the fixed signs of the zodiac, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, then this can be quite jarring what's going on in the cosmos right now, because fixed does not like change. It takes a lot for fixed signs. And again, in your astrology chart, whether you're a fixed sign or not, you have places in your astrology chart that correspond to areas of your life where it's fixed. You don't want the change. You don't want the tension of the opposites in considering this, that, and the other. Fixed is decided. They get set on a clear path, and that's pretty much it. It takes a lot for a fixed sign to change. But right now we have this major lineup with the full moon approaching in Gemini, which is 2 of everything, at least, Gemini the twins, and the other energies that are morphing and changing, considering different things. Again, how you have the power, how to work with these energies, is to not rush yourself. Don't push yourself. You can be in that space. You can be in the feelings of, I don't know what I want. I don't know how I feel. I'm in the process of considering different things, and not allowing yourself to be rushed into a major decision. Now, as we are starting off the week and we have the moon in Taurus, which is fixed Earth, the moon in Taurus is fixed on always wanting more and more, never being content. That feeling, that energy is fixed with the moon in Taurus. Mars recently entered mutable fire Sagittarius. Mars is action. Mars is the male principle of just go for it. Just act first, figure it out later on. That is not the way to go with all of what is happening here. Now, Saturn is in Pisces, another mutable tension of the opposite dual sign. Saturn is saying, no, you've got to slow it down and figure it out and not just jump into a decision. Monday, November 27th, we have Mercury in its detriment in Sagittarius, dual sign, making a square to Neptune in Pisces, dual sign. Now, Mercury square Neptune can be a very foolish decision that you don't have to make. Mercury, which is the mind, and signing contracts and what you say, how you say it, negotiating deals, square Neptune in Pisces, which is not clear. It can be straight out lies and being misled. Mercury square Neptune on the day of the full moon, when it doesn't feel grounded, it doesn't feel decided, fixed, clear, set on a path. With this full moon on Monday the 27th, it's not the time, obviously, to be rushed into a decision where you're not feeling solid to begin with. When you are not ready to decide, you want to consider different things that are going on at the same time. This is potentially a wonderful opportunity for not only being in touch with, which is the full moon, which accepts the full light of the sun. If you're someone that has not had clear boundaries, as far as I said no one time and that should be enough. I am not ready to decide. I'm not there yet. This full moon in Gemini, which at 4 degrees, which is the first decanate of Gemini, meaning this is a double whammy of it's a double whammy of Gemini. We don't have the twins, now there are 4 present. Anyway, this can be a wonderful opportunity for awareness and healing and being connected to the power that you have to not allow yourself to be pushed, bullied, rushed, frightened into you've got to make a decision right now, even though you know when you're connected to how you feel that you are not ready. You're not powerless. You're never powerless. You have the power. The cosmic superpower is simply lighting up for you with this full moon in Gemini, that you have every right to take your time and say, I am not ready to decide. End of the story right there, and walk away. What will help you out if this relates to you is, where in your astrology chart are there placements where it seems as though there is a pattern, because there is always a pattern in astrology, where you've always been rushed in that area of your life. For instance, let's say you have fixed on the 7th house of marriage, relationship, and for whatever reason, you've been rushed into a relationship or rushed into making a decision about relationship when you know you're not ready. Too much, too soon, the other person is too pushy, can be something like that. Or let's say it's the 2nd house of money, where you have felt there aren't any boundaries, or you're being rushed into spending money that you really are not ready to spend. There are many different areas of life where this can apply to you. Just know, with the full moon, which is amped up energy to begin with, and so much of these placements astrologically that are dual, the tension of the opposites, you could keep it very simple for yourself and say, starting on Sunday and through the week, I'm just not making a big decision about anything. And if they don't like it, well, go kick rocks. You're not deciding. You're just going to slow it down. Now, dual signs of the zodiac. When we look at the mutables, the Gemini, the Virgo, the Sagittarius, the Pisces, the dual signs of the zodiac are very comfortable because it's their nature to have many opposing thoughts and feelings going on at the same time. They are wired that way. And if you are connected to the dual signs of the zodiac, where they are okay with changing it up all of the time about everything, what you can do in that situation is know that whatever mood they are in, just know it will change, it will pass. Because for a fixed or a cardinal sign to constantly have to relate or be connected with someone that is, let's say, all over the place all of the time, and it's natural for them, just know that you still have the luxury of waiting. And if you, for yourself, and if you wait, that duality will change again. The mood will change. In other words, the full moon in Gemini is when the full moon is the culmination, accepts the full light and illumination of the sun, and mirrors back to us always a part of ourself that will bring us greater power and awareness when we connect to it. So the full moon in Gemini is becoming more aware of how and when you are always changing. Also, how and when you keep your commitments or not. The sign of Gemini relates to Peter Pan. Doesn't want to grow up, doesn't want to make a full-on commitment, always leaves the door slightly open, ready to run if they want to get out of a promise or a commitment. Now, becoming aware of how that works in your life, no matter what sign of the zodiac is, this is where we can get in touch with what we say, because Gemini is communication, it's the word, how we say it, and what we promise. The promises, the commitments that we keep or don't keep. And this is across the board for all 12 signs of the zodiac. It's more specific knowing where Gemini is in your astrology chart, but it still applies that this full moon in Gemini is bringing up where we keep our word or not, where we keep the promises. Tuesday, November 28th, the day starts off with the moon in Gemini, still full moon energy, making an air trine flow to Venus at home in Libra. This is so romantic. This is getting caught up and running away with all the love romantic conversation. Moon in Gemini, Venus in Libra. Air, it's a lot of talk. It's a lot of how we're in love and we're going to run off to Las Vegas and get married. It's that kind of feel with the moon trine Venus at home in Libra. But after that aspect, the moon in Gemini then makes a square to Neptune in Pisces. The moon in Gemini makes an opposition to Mercury in its detriment in Sagittarius. These energies are showing you that you have the power to not be misled, to say no, I'm waiting, not ready. Whenever you are at the negotiating table, and every good gambler knows, you have got to be willing to get up and walk away from the table if need be. You have to be willing to call their bluff. What is your guide? Your feelings, your gut instinct. This is the full moon. This is the moon in astrology. This is the beauty of the full moon in Gemini. Gemini is very sophisticated. It's very smooth. The power of Gemini in this full moon in Gemini is the ability, the power you have to establish a boundary without making a big drama about it, which typically is not the Gemini way. It's air, it's light, loves to communicate. So you can hold on to the boundary with this full moon in Gemini without it being a big fight and over the top kinds of things where people are hurt and angry and relationships can be irreparably damaged and or broken. We still have Venus at home in Libra, which is all about the love, marriage, and romance. Wednesday, November 29th, we have the moon at home in the sign of Cancer. So when the moon is in her domicile in the sign of Cancer, congratulate yourself. Give yourself a hug on all of the things that you've learned in the area of being very kind to yourself, self-care. When the moon is at home in Cancer, Cancer being the nurturing mother and how you nurture and be a great parent to yourself, this is when you can feel really good about the things that you've decided during full moon energy. The moon in Cancer makes a beautiful water trine flow to Saturn in Pisces, which is a huge yes, you're going to get on with the work that you really love, that makes you feel good. Also, the moon in Cancer makes a lovely sextile aspect to Jupiter in Taurus. What you want to grow and increase in your life, the things that you would really like to build and create over time. Taurus is building something that is meant to stand the test of time. The moon sextile Jupiter in Taurus is that aspect. So you can get through this full moon in Gemini and all of these mutable energies feeling really great about yourself, empowered about yourself, because you held on to the boundary and at the same time didn't make a big dramatic angry to-do about it. It doesn't have to go that way. It never has to go that way. If it comes down to it, walk away and love yourself enough to say, I'm not doing this to myself emotionally. It's not good for your well-being, obviously, and your health to constantly upset yourself because your boundaries are not being respected. It starts with knowing our boundaries and respecting those boundaries for ourselves. This is the cosmic superpower this week. Thursday, November 30th, we still have the moon at home in Cancer, making a sextile aspect to Uranus and Taurus, and then the moon in Cancer makes a water trine flow to Neptune in Pisces. This is the flow of emotion, creativity, abundance, with potentially moon sextile the planet Uranus, flashes of insight and creativity. This happens when we are relaxed and we are centered, and again, when we're not feeling pushed and rushed into something, when you're being really good to yourself. Watch what happens. Friday, December 1st, Mercury changes signs. Mercury moves into cardinal Earth, Capricorn. Capricorn is common sense. It's setting the intention that you are going to achieve a goal. Mercury in Capricorn, unlike Mercury in its detriment in Sagittarius, which can make very rushed, foolish choices, Mercury in Capricorn, symbolized by the mountain goat that plots and strategizes very carefully, takes its time to go to the next level of achievement. This is bringing the mind down to earth a bit, and also because it's Earth, Mercury with Earth, you can feel more calm, more grounded. Also on Friday, December 1st, the moon enters Leo, which is so much fun for people, for parties and children and creativity. We love a party when the moon is in Leo. It's so much fun. Everybody tends to let the inner child come out and play, which is certainly needed. So we're starting off the weekend with the moon in Leo. Also, that moon in Leo makes a fire trine flow to Mars, still in Sagittarius. Great for sports, great for activity, fabulous for doing something outdoorsy or active at the very least, that just makes all of those beautiful, healthy, happy chemicals come out and make you feel much, much better. As we close out the week, the happiness, excitement factor continues with the moon in Leo, then making a fire trine flow to the sun in Sagittarius. It's just feeling good when the inner and the outer, the masculine and the feminine, the mind and the heart, the moon and the sun are working together with the element of fire, which is just the joy of being happy for happiness' sake, Unlike the moon in Taurus, that's never satisfied, the moon trine the sun in fire is a great feeling of not only contentment, but being happy with yourself, happy with your life, appreciation, gratitude for all that you have and all that we are blessed with. Moon trine the sun in fire is that feeling of being carefree, being present in your life, and happy and joyful in your life. There are times when that inner child does need to come out and get a break and have some fun. And as we begin December, this is that weekend. Moon trine the sun in fire is saying celebrate your life, celebrate yourself. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars.